I lost like 20 of my friends in the past year. Like it's horrible. From tranq and fentanyl, like it's been insane out here.
The xylazine is really making us look like zombies, like physically look like zombies. Like my leg looks like it's something out of a horror movie.
Hooked in a vicious cycle of brutal addiction. Zombie-like victims, slumped and barely conscious, they line these streets openly, injecting themselves and each other. They are the tragic face of America's latest desperate drug emergency.
Old heroin, you can go 8 to 12 hours without doing a bag. This is like 2-3 hours later, you're starting to feel sick already.
And that's because here, under this train line in northern Philadelphia, drug dealers have perfected a cruel new cocktail tormenting those at their lowest point.
I OD'd like 13 times in that 1 month because it's hard to adjust to it.
They're cutting heroin, but more often fentanyl, with a powerful animal sedative called xylazine. It's a lethal mix known simply on these streets as tranq, and it's supercharging America's raging opioid crisis.
And you can see there's still gauze in there. See the gauze?
Yeah.
That's why it's not healing all the way.
It's taking lives and limbs.
I did inject it. I haven't injected there since then.
Yeah, but it can pop up anywhere is what I'm sort of saying.
Yeah. But I definitely hit there. And it popped up down here too.
The drug rots human flesh. It's quite literally eating them alive.
Like, all this was open like a month ago.
Basically from my knee all the way down to my ankle is like no skin, like all exposed.
Here, tranq users rely on volunteers to clean and dress their injuries, most far too gruesome to show.
Oh, man.
It's a painful process, but a crucial one.
That's where the tendon is. I know for sure that I'm gonna lose at least one of my legs.
One thing that you don't really get prepared for is the smell of these wounds, that fetid stench of infection, and it's infecting so many people here in this clinic.
Kensington and Allegheny, this is like a drug central right here. I used to live right there on that corner.
Few know the deprivation and the desperation on these streets better than Jose Castillo.
I've heard these streets here described as the Disneyland.
Oh my God, yeah, it's an open air market. Like, it's literally a third world country in the United States.
For years he lived, and more than once, almost died here.
How do you feel now when you see these images? You're 6 months clean now.
I see myself. Like, I used to be that dude. Like, I remember I get like flashbacks of me sitting right here.
Police patrol this lawless pocket of America in name only. It's drug dealers and their masked henchmen running these city blocks.
Is it dangerous for us to be around here?
Yeah, definitely. Especially like with cameras and stuff.
A warning realised just seconds later as a street enforcer made it clear.
No. See what I'm saying? Hurry up, pull off. Go around them and get away.
Observers aren't welcome. A hot coffee pitched through our window, a stroke of good fortune, according to our guide, Jose, adamant it could have been far worse. Whether by gun or needle, life in Kensington, Philadelphia is cheap.
Look at that.
Alright, stopping it there. Okay, so reacting to a video called The Flesh-Eating Drug Taking Over America. So you probably came across, if you are a connoisseur of YouTube, you probably came across on some of these viral videos of what they call like the zombie walkers in like Kensington. This is where this was filmed, of the people in these horrible states where they're slumped over, almost frozen in a position, just dozed off on drugs, kind of walking like zombies, and now their flesh is rotting like a zombie. Like, it's like real life zombies. People might look at them and they might even laugh. They might even feel very judgmental, like, well, these fucking losers, these bums, get a job, they did it to themselves, I don't care. I feel nothing but empathy and really sad. Like, there's one thing you're seeing like someone who's snorting a kind of, snow, and someone who's literally like in such a state where I couldn't imagine a human being can be in. I feel empathy and I feel sadness and I feel so much immense gratitude. I'm not there. I'm not in that position. It's really, really sad. First of all, I want to comment on a couple of things. The first, the coffee thing. If someone had threw liquid in my face when I was in that area, I would have been freaking the fuck out and been probably like, immediately take me to the hospital. I need to get my rabies shot. Second, no, it's not like a third world country. People have really fucked up ideas of what developing or third world countries are. I visit and travel through developing and third world countries, second third world countries, developing countries all the time. I'm in one right now. No, it does not look like that. Not even anything close to that. Maybe in the most poorest of the poorest areas of these countries, but that's any country. No, there aren't people just drugged out and passed out on the streets everywhere. I don't know what you guys think developing countries look like. It doesn't look like that. Never came across that a day in my life, and I've been traveling through these countries like this for 8 years, okay? India, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, Nepal, Sri Lanka. They don't look like that. So that was an insult to developing countries all around the world. Anywho, I'm the first person that's like very anti-enabling addicts, and I'm the first person that would, maybe not the first, but one of those people that would say it's all about choices. And I don't even like that saying of like anybody could end up in this position, because I don't necessarily think that's true. I think there's people who think they could end up in that position, end up in those positions, but I don't think it's everyone. I do think there's choices, and I think there's different elements that get you to that place. However, when you have a drug that's literally eating your flesh, and like the guy said, in that makeshift clinic that looked like someone's living room or kitchen, he's gonna most likely lose his leg, and he keep doing it, it can't be as simple as just stopping cold turkey. That's demonic. That drug has a demonic hold on those people, because like I couldn't imagine watching my flesh, and now I'm contemplating where I'll blur it out a little bit for you guys, because I don't want to like do that to you, to see the flesh rotting off that guy's arm. So I'll blur it out a little bit. To see that and still keep ejecting, it's crazy. I've also heard stories about someone will OD on this stuff, and then all the other addicts around them will find out what drug they OD'd on to get that drug because they want something stronger. Thank you, God. Thank you, baby Jesus. Thank you. I never want to be in this position. That seems like a hellhole. Almost an impossible hellhole to crawl out of. And one more thing I want to add before you get back into the video. I don't think, like Thomas Sowell said, I don't think that you can completely control people using drugs. I'm actually pro legalizing drugs, because I think it fixes a lot of the issues that comes along with addicts or drug addiction. But there's certain drugs that have entered this country that is not native to America, that comes from other countries, comes over the border. Do you really think the government, if they really wanted to, in their heart of hearts, if they really wanted to crack down on stopping these drugs from entering America or stopping a cartel, they couldn't? Like maybe they can't. Maybe they can't. It just seems weird to me that they couldn't eliminate a good amount of this. Maybe not 100%, but a good amount of this if they really wanted to. You know why they don't? And Thomas Sowell agrees with me. Insert clip now.
Like prohibition, the ban on drugs has been a financial bonanza for organized crime, and its profits have financed the corruption of law enforcement agencies, politicians, and judges.
The government financially benefits from the cartel and the drugs coming in. And there's another more nefarious reason that my conspiracy mind comes up with, is maybe they want a lot of people to end up like this. Maybe it's a part of a population control plan. I don't know. Maybe it's a part of a demoralization control plan. I don't know. But like, this is a growing epidemic, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and they're not cracking down on it, not fast enough. Part of me kind of feels like they want a good portion of Americans to be fucking drugged out of their mind. They can't vote, they can't pay attention, they can't take care of themselves, can't take care of their kids, continuing the cycle of drug addiction and broken homes. I don't know. That's just a thought. Anyway, we're gonna get back into the video.
That guy, he just probably OD'd right there.
Has he? The lucky ones are revived only to relapse again and again.
It must have been fentanyl, because He got Narcan once and popped right up.
But xylazine is not an opioid and doesn't respond to life-saving Narcan treatments. Around a third of all overdose cases here in Philadelphia are found to contain xylazine, and authorities say the drug is spreading at a breakneck speed, racing across the United States and even overseas.
I can't think of anywhere in the world where drugs are sold that would be not at risk of xylazine being present in the drug supply.
Other US states are now bracing for the full impact of a tranq tidal wave, dark web imports only undermining a government crackdown on overseas shipments.
The Department of Public Health doesn't necessarily have like a direct way to, prevent xylazine from finding its way into drugs, but we do want to make sure that people understand the composition of the drugs that we're seeing.
Withdrawal from tranq is ferocious, its price only keeping addicts coming back for more.
Old heroin, we used to pay $10 a bag. Now we pay $5 a bag, and we get sometimes twice as much.
For stigmatized users crushed by the weight of unrelenting addiction, help is in short supply. It's a narrow road out for the country's most miserable, and those living the horrors of this monumental American failure know it.
I'm worried I'm going to be another statistic, and I don't want to be like that.
Well, that's it, guys. That was really sad. By the way, I was gonna react to a different video about this, and it was. I'll put a clip now. But it was one of these street interviewers that's very politicized. It's a very political street interviewer, and I decided not to react to it and react to this one instead because it kind of just showed like a raw view of what's going on and kind of gave it a little bit more of an empathetic spin. The one that I was gonna react to was more of a political stance of not legalizing drugs and what it's going to do to what it's doing in San Francisco. But look at Kensington. In my opinion, Kensington is worse off than San Francisco, and it's not legal in Kensington. I don't know, FYI, I don't know if you got the memo, the war on drugs didn't work. So this sort of political stance on like, no, people shouldn't do drugs, we should have war on drugs, it didn't work. So not legalizing or legalizing it hasn't helped either way. Legalizing drugs thus far has not actually helped, because I don't even think when San Francisco, if they legalize, I'm not sure if that's like a done deal, but when you legalize drugs, there's a lot of more implement things you have to put into place. You have to like actually help people get clean. You have to take the money that you use to put people in prison and take that money into rehab and clinics and helping people get off drugs. You don't just hand them needles and say, have a good day, sir. That's not what legalizing drugs, the program of that is supposed to look like. Anywho, I decided not to watch her video because I just thought it was too political and like they were missing the point, because like again, legalizing or illegalizing, criminalizing drug use hasn't helped either way. So that's not really the conversation we should be having. Very black and white thinking, in my opinion. Anywho, I don't have a lot more to say. I just think that was sad, and I thought like this has been going on. I will say, one more thing I want to say. I will say the people who started this whole fucking thing, when it comes to opioid addiction, is big fucking pharma and doctors and the medical industry, and they should be held a little bit more to the fire. I know they have been criticized and maybe people have paid the price for that, but like that's what started this. They started this opioid addiction when people couldn't get their opioids anymore, and they went to heroin, and then the heroin got worse and worse and worse. So I have to say that. Anywho, guys, let me know what you guys think of this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm, guys. You can donate. It helps keep me on this platform, and you guys have an amazing day. Bye.